Cuffs are off, man. Get right. Too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gonna leave. I'ma get right. Get right. Down to the bottom and scratch it for all the.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, everybody? It's Marcus Grant.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Our league. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
But I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves.
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back. This is the Get Right Fantasy Network with me, Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike, and this is our Week 11 Active and Inactive show. I'm going to be going over the news and notes since our Friday night show. Then at 11:30, I'm just going to be going over, the news that comes in, or when news comes in. I'll give you guys the actives and inactives around then, and then of course I'm going to be answering any of your start sit questions leading up to game time. So make sure you guys put them in the chat. I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. We also have our super chats on as well. So those are for immediate responses. I will get to them right away. Stop the show just for you to answer those questions. But go ahead, drop your questions in the chat. I'll try to answer them. Be sure to include your league size and the type of league and scoring and, half, full, tight end premium, etc. So I can give you the best answer possible. For those that are new to the show, welcome. Glad to have you guys here. Please make sure you guys check out our schedule. I have it on the ticker below. And also take a second to take a look. We're going to be back here. We're here 7 days a week. I know we don't have Saturday on this particular list, but Cody and Zach have their show on the Sweet Life Football. I mean, it is a great show. They're doing great things over there. So Monday, we are back with our waiver wire ads and overreactions to the week. Tuesday, we have our boy Tycoon in the fantasy boardroom. Wednesday, we're going to have buy low, sell high. That's going to be slowly turning into something else. It's going to be more like roster management after about this week or next week when trade deadlines are over for a lot of redraft leagues. I know Dynasty is pretty much continuing, but, we're going to probably tweak that a little bit. Also, Phil is there on Wednesday as well, doing his Dynasty show on the Extra Point, as well as on Thursday doing DFS and props prior to the Thursday night game. And then we're back on Friday with our two-part show starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific is the other one. So make sure you guys check that out. And as always, I'll be here every Sunday that I can be here to help you guys with your lineups. All righty. So some news and notes to get to, some injuries and stuff to talk about prior to game time. One of the biggest news is George Kittle. He's questionable for today's game due to his hamstring injury. He's unlikely to play as per Adam Schefter. They want to see how Kittle is feeling pregame before making any final decisions. But right now they're not looking optimistic for, Kittle to be playing. So it looks like he'll be out. As per, I was watching this morning, Stefan Yabel basically said, they're basically trying to, they understand they don't want to have soft tissue injuries moving into, later in the year. So right now they're trying to ease him in. He did have something of the same issue during the year, and he came back and did fine. So right now they're just trying to manage him because they want him for the long run. So I would expect him not to play. So if you have him in your lineup, I would be taking him out and finding a replacement if you have one. If you feel that he is, this is all just talk and maybe he plays, then I would grab someone near the 4 o'clock, window, maybe Will Dissly, which is at the 8, the Sunday night football game. But I would just be prepared for him not to play. Just the way that it sounds, it's just not like he's going to play. Trent Williams will be playing. They feel a little bit more optimistic about Trent. He's dealing with an ankle injury currently, but they think he can play. They're going to test him pregame to see what's going on. Lando Brown, who's dealing with a knee injury and a fibula, is not expected to play today for the Bengals. Also, Trey Hendrickson, he's listed as questionable with a neck injury. He has a personal matter, but he's slated to meet the team in LA to play against the Chargers tonight. I think I read a report that he made it there yesterday, so he should be good to go. Devontae Adams, he's been battling injury. He's been battling illness and a wrist injury. He's expected to play today, as per Mike Garafolo. He missed practice earlier in the week, but he was a full participant on Friday. It looks like he'll be ready to go. For the Steelers, Jaylen Warren, he's listed as questionable for Sunday due to a back injury. He's expected to play. Back injuries are tough to deal with, especially for running backs. Well, any position really. But he is in a position that he's banged up. He hasn't been having the greatest of years. So I would be very cautious using him this week. Some players that have already been ruled out. Tank Bigsby, he will be out for the Jags. Trevor Lawrence will be out as well. He should be coming back after the bye based on what we hear in reports. Sam Laporta will be out today for the Lions versus the Jags. Who else do we got here? Marshawn Lloyd for the Packers. He's going to be out as well. He had appendicitis on Friday, so they look like they're going to they're going to keep him sidelined for a little bit longer. Tyrone Smith for the Jets, left tackle, he will be out as well. Isaiah Pacheco, he's still in the process of coming back. He did practice for most of the week. They're going to slowly try to get him back into the rotation. I think maybe he plays next week, but I'm not as optimistic. If they're 9-0, at this point, I think they're trying to wait. Why throw the guy in and risk injury again? Keon Coleman is going to be inactive today, as well as Dalton Kincaid against the Chiefs today. Matt Milano is also out. Mike Hughes is going to be out for that game. So that's going to be an interesting game to watch. Chiefs, I'm pretty sure Chiefs are favored in that game. No, Buffalo's favored by 2, but with those injuries, it's a little tough to see at this point. They're only favored by 2 in this particular matchup. It is at home. That's probably why. Noah Fant is also going to be out today for the Seahawks. And of course, those waiting for Nico Collins, he's back, baby. Good. He's off the injury report officially. He's good to go. He will be playing against the Cowboys. He will be getting, going against Trayvon Diggs. So just know that in advance. They do have Micah Parsons back. So this might be a little bit more of a different defense that we've seen in recent weeks, who have been easily beaten. So we'll wait and see how that goes. Will Hayes in the house. What's going on, Will? Great to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining. He goes, who should I start in my flex spot? Darnell Mooney, DJ Moore, or Amari Cooper? It's right now, just to, Darnell Mooney came up with an Achilles injury during the week, kind of like what Christian McCaffrey was dealing with in a smaller, very smaller sense. He's off the injury report. This is probably one of their more, this is a more difficult matchup going against Denver this week. I think he's still going to be used. They're still going to try to get him the ball. Kirk Cousins is a little banged up too. It's not a great scenario for you there. DJ Moore is also dealing with Caleb Williams, new offensive coordinator. They are going to be playing the Packers, which is a little bit more. I mean, it's a difficult matchup either way for him. And Amari Cooper coming back from the wrist injury, but he is looking more likely to play than most of the guys on his team. He's questionable as well, but all signs point to him being active. That's a real tough one for me. If I want to go based on what we've been talking about or how things have been going lately, I would probably be rolling with Mooney. I have Mooney currently in 19 in my rankings. I'm trying to see if I can find. Yeah, I have him at 19. I have Amari Cooper at 32, and DJ Moore is at 36. Just with the way that Caleb Williams is playing as of late. So I think I'm going to go Darnell Mooney here for that particular one. Rafi, Sunday morning with the stud Mike. What's going on, brother? Great to have you on the show as always. Full PPR, need 2 for the flex. All right. We got Jake Ferguson, Quentin Johnston, Estime, Madison, or DJ Moore. All right, full PPR. This is not tight end premium, I'm assuming. If it's not tight end premium, it's hard for me to tell you to play Ferguson. It really just is. Especially with Cooper Rush behind center, you're not getting the same type of target that you'd be getting from Dak. So it kind of, all things kind of, the arrows point down, unfortunately, for Ferguson. Quinton Johnson, or Johnston, I like him a little bit in this one. I like him a lot more than the other options. So he's definitely one of those for me. The other, I mean, on any other given week, I would probably tell you DJ Moore over these two with Estime and Madison. We just don't know their usage at this point. Estime definitely got a bump last week. And yeah, even if that's cut in half this week, it's still a lot better than most. So I don't hate Estime. I like him better than I like Madison. But it's hard for me to tell you over a guy like DJ Moore. This is going to be a new offense that they're going to be dealing with. It's going to be new. Everything's going to be a little bit newer this week, with that particular situation with the offensive coordinator. So it's scary, but I think I would go Quinton Johnston and DJ Moore and ride that and see what happens. Like I said, hard for me to do Jake Ferguson without it being tight end premium. So what up, Rasta? Look who's awake at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Great to have you. Great to have you here there, buddy. Thank you for setting up everything too. I really do appreciate that. I went to bed real late last night. Had to watch couldn't not watch the UFC 309. For those that didn't watch it, really good card. Really enjoyed it. John Jones just killed it. Really had a good match. Olivier also did great. Really decent card, except for the the Bob Nickel one, or Bo Nickel one. But all the prelims and all that leading up was pretty good. Kyle Singer, what's going on, brother? Great to have you back. He goes Dobbs, Chubb, ETN. Pick one running back, one. Pick one running back, one flex, full PPR. I think I'm going to have to go ETN here. For sure. And I think I'm going to go with Dobbs too. I'm not as well. No, you know what? I'm not that bad against this particular group. The one little caveat that I'll throw for this particular situation, Bears are better than what you think against the wide receiver. They're currently second in fantasy points against, fantasy points per game. They are currently second against wide receivers, so they're one of the best against. But I do like the matchup for him overall. I think this is going to be a competitive game overall. It's a 40-point over-under. They're favored by 5.5. This is a division game. They know each other pretty well. He's not the main target. He's more the secondary target, with Jaden Reed being a little bit more involved. ETN, it's a tough matchup. I'm not going to lie. But he's the only guy there other than Dearness Johnson. So it kind of boosts him a little bit. I do love Chubb in this particular matchup. I think he has a pretty good situation going against the Steelers. But that, the Steelers defense is 10th overall against the running back. Detroit is 6th. So it's not the best matchup for either. But they have a more porous defense overall for the Lions. They're going to have to keep up. They're going to be dumping it down. Mac Jones better, keep dumping it down. I'm going to go ETN and Dobbs for this one. Not to say I don't like Chubb, but I think I'm going to go that route with ETN and Chubb. Or sorry, ETN and Dobbs. Oh, that's right. My bad. Sorry, Kyle. Long night. Saints D is a whole different animal. Sorry, brother. Like I said, I didn't get home till 3 o'clock in the morning. So sorry about that. Coming off the bye, they have their offensive line back. One more week to kind of get the offense, 1 week without. But it's full PPR, man. He takes a step down for me in PPR. They don't use him a lot. It's definitely a better matchup. I'm not gonna lie. But it's tough for me to tell you Dobbs and Chubb. I think I'm still sticking with ETN and Dobbs for the time being. Yes, it's against the Saints for Chubb, but I with the full PPR, I think that gives ETN the bump, and especially with the fact that, yeah, I don't blame you. If you're going matchup based, it's definitely not a bad play. It's between him and ETN for sure. But the good thing to know is that you don't have Tank Bigsby there. He doesn't have anybody. He is not. He is a shell of his former self from what we've seen. But Chubb and him are pretty much on the same tier. Well, yeah, he's definitely a big bust overall. They're both in the same tier for me. They're both around the same point. I think I probably even have them close in my rankings. Let me see. I have Chubb at 25. I have ETN at 19. So they're roughly in the same grouping. I have Chubb a little bit less because of the PPR, but we do our rankings in half. So full ETN definitely takes a step up. It's against a bad defense. They're going to be in negative game script. They're going to involve him in the passing game because he is involved in the passing game. He has decent hands. That's the only reason why I'm for someone like ETN. The other spot, if you wanted to compare Chubb and Dobbs in this case, Chubbs and Dobbs is one of those things where I'm sitting there. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, this is more. You got to put your faith into your guy and be like, I hope he does well. I think you're going to do well either way with both guys. I think ETN is in a situation that is a little bit more game script proof for you, where he can be involved. The game against the Saints, they're only favored by 1.5. So Vegas thinks that, well, and that was a push originally. So originally, when we had our show on Friday, the Saints and Browns game was a push. Now it's at 1.5 for the, but yeah, the PPR wise is what puts me at ETN. If it was like half, I would definitely lean more towards Chubb just because that extra doesn't really matter. Well, it does, but it doesn't, in a way. And I would probably lean a little bit more Chubb, towards Chubb. But I'm going to go ETN here just because of the full PPR aspect of it, for sure. So I hope that was helpful. I hope I was able to, get you in that direction. But Dobbs is pretty much the flex. You can't not use him. He's a good possession guy. It's a tougher matchup for sure. I wouldn't be against playing Dobbs. I wouldn't be against playing Chubb over Dobbs. But I think that's one of those scenarios where if you're okay with Chubb not catching the ball and you're okay with his production running it, he might not be a horrible play. You have really good options for those three, from those three. So it's really just trying to find the best option that would work for you. But but yeah, once you mention the Saints, I'm like, yeah, no, that's a great matchup. So if you like the matchup better for Chubb over Dobbs, I wouldn't blame you one bit. I actually just traded Chubb 2 minutes ago, so I'm trying to get my brain right on the team that I just created. So um, just letting you know. We got Patrick Lario in the house. He goes, yo, 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 go Big Blue. They can't lose this week. I'm actually in MetLife parking lot tailgating the Jets game. Awesome. Yeah, they can't lose this week. Either way, you get to have fun over there at MetLife. Tailgating over there is always an experience. I always enjoy going to MetLife tailgates regardless. Really enjoy it over there. So I hope you have a good time, Patrick. Be safe over there, yeah? So he goes, so Freiermuth or Kraft and Cousins or Mahomes. So for me, I'm going to go Freiermuth. I just like the matchup a little bit better. Used in the red zone a lot. Russell Wilson has definitely opened his particular production up a little bit. So for me, I like Freiermuth. I know Kraft is overall the better play in the context of they've been using him, but now they're healthy. They have all their options. And he kind of takes a step back from me. Freiermuth is a little bit more second in the pecking order, if you will. And I like his particular situation. Going against the Ravens, they've been beat up this year. Kyle Hamilton is beat up. Roquan is the tougher matchup here, but I think he can overtake that. They look for him in the red zone. You're looking for that touchdown. I like Freiermuth. For Cousins or Mahomes, this is a little bit tougher for me. Going against Denver, I'm probably going to lean Mahomes. Both matchups aren't great. Mahomes hasn't been playing up to the caliber that he should, as we all know. But at the same time, he's still going to try to win. He's actually, as bad as he's actually been pretty steady, and one of those guys that I enjoy based on that, because I'm a very steady guy. Man, I really do think that we can do. I think Mahomes here for sure, and Cousins is a little banged up, so I'm pulling him back. And yeah, like Anthony's telling you here, tell everybody at that for tell them to come watch if you're there in the parking lot. A lot of Jets fans there. Great to all New York. Let's get them in there. So have them like and subscribe while you're there. Do some promoting for us. That would be great. We got Denzel Barton. What's going on, brother? He goes, Sam or Gino? Who you start? Anybody over them? I don't hate Sam Darnold this week. I think he has a decent matchup overall. Them going against the Titans. Titans are actually a decent defense, but they're not the best. That matchup, they have Minnesota up by 6. But I do like Sam Darnold overall. I think they're going to, now that TJ Hawkinson's there, they have another aspect to use. Gino, I have at 19. I have Sam Darnold at 17. A couple guys that I have above him, maybe Matthew Stafford against the Patriots. But honestly, that's about it. I mean, if there's nothing else available, I mean, I would definitely look for Bo Nix. I love Bo Nix in this matchup. Russell Wilson's available as well. Though, maybe those two. But otherwise, if you're going to have me pick, if I'm going between Sam and Gino, I'm probably going to go Sam Darnold. I like him a lot. I like him a little more than I do Gino, even though he's getting back DK Metcalf today. Garrett Wilson, London, Jennings, Chubb, Cooper. I'm assuming that's Amari Cooper. Just let me know if it's not. And Quentin Johnston. Need 2 wide receiver and 1 flex. Is this full PPR or half? Just want to know, because this might change my particular thought process here. If it's half, Chubb is definitely one of those flex spots. I think he's in a good spot today to be involved in that way. The other one is for sure is Garrett Wilson. I'm a little bit nervous about Drake London just because of his matchup. It's full. Okay. All right. So I'm definitely going Garrett Wilson. I think he's in a good spot. We can definitely fill that spot without a problem. Any given week, I would be telling you London here. There's no question. But this is going to be a tougher matchup going against Patrick Surtain most of the time. Jennings is in a good matchup against Seattle, and they use him a little bit more. It's a huge step down, though, which is hard for me to tell you to go from one to the other. I have London at 16. I have Jennings at 31. That's almost 2 tiers down, if not, if not more. But I don't hate his matchup. His matchup's in a much better scenario overall against against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks are currently 24th best against the pass comparatively, to Denver, who's 5th, and they, are slowly getting that way. Amari Cooper, I'm just not sold on yet. He has a really tough matchup today against the Chiefs. He's going to be going against McDuffie. McDuffie is a very good corner. And he's already, Cooper's banged up. His legs aren't hurt, but his wrist is. And if he can't catch the ball, that's the problem. But he's a good route runner. Hopefully Josh Allen takes a look at him and make sure he's available. I do think they're going to kind of lean a little bit more towards Shakir here. Or maybe run the ball, but I think running the ball is a very tough thing to do. Chiefs are the best against the run. So they might not be as – I don't see that game as him being run heavy. I think they're going to try to pass it. That's their only weakness, if you will. Quinton Johnston, I don't hate either. This is a really good matchup for him. Bengals 20th against the wide receiver at this point. Chubb, I love in this. I think I would put Chubb in the flex. It's a good matchup for him coming back from the bye. Their whole offensive line's healthy. They have a good offensive line when everybody's healthy. Going against the Chargers, who are a little banged up, their team has been doing pretty well overall. Their defense has been doing pretty well as well. They are, Saints. My bad. Yeah, no, you're playing Chubb, Wilson, and then, man, London, Jennings, or Cooper, or Quinston. I want to say London here. I don't like it, but it's between London and Jennings, and I'd probably rate it like London, Jennings, Johnston, and Cooper at this point. Man, it's so tough for that second wide receiver spot, to be honest. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go. London here, and it's just because of the tier break. It's so hard for me to suggest somebody 2 tiers lower than what you would be wanting to do. London. Yeah, I have to do that. Garrett Wilson, London, and Chubb, I think are the your starters for that. It's a tough one though. I understand why you brought it to me. I have one that I have to deal with today, either Cortland Sutton or James Cook. It's if you guys have any thoughts, throw them in the chat. I mean, we have these same thought processes too, man. I have to get my teams together. I just made a trade for James Cook. So I'm wrestling with that right now. I actually traded away Chubb for Cook, and I'm trying to figure out what is my best next move, if you will, and seeing if I should be playing him over a guy like Sutton or even Tyreek Hill. With his bad production as of late. If you guys have any thoughts, throw it in the chat. Love to hear it. Funky, what's going on, brother? He goes, need to start 3 of 5 in PPR. Must win. All right. Aaron Jones, CeeDee Lamb, Jaden Reed, DK Metcalf, Juwan Jennings. For me, it's DK Metcalf for sure. I can tell you to play him in, with all the certainty in the world. The one that I'm a little nervous about, but based on this, I mean, Titans are middle of the road right now against running backs. I usually like to have a running back in these scenarios, especially at least one. Uh, so I think it's Aaron Jones and Metcalf. The hard one is CeeDee Lamb, Reed, and Jennings. And I know it doesn't seem like it's a difficult decision, but CeeDee Lamb getting the ball from Cooper Rush is difficult. He's not the same player. Volume will be there, but the pass, like the quality of the pass, won't be there. So I think I'm going to go. I think Jaden Reed might be a better option here. Uh, Still a horrible, matchup. I think Jawan Jennings has the better matchup of the three of them, but it's a risk if you're playing him. But I do think Aaron Jones and DK Metcalf are probably your two best options out of the three you need to start. Uh, and then like I said, it's really tough to tell you not to play CeeDee Lamb. He's struggled in the last few weeks. So especially with Cooper Rush behind center, he's going to go against a pass funnel defense. So they have no problem stopping the run, but they do have a problem stopping the pass. They are 25th. Yeah, Aaron Jones, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf. I kind of talked myself into it, but it's one of those things that I'm not like thrilled about it, just because of the quarterback, or his quarterback situation. I've been put, there's a guy in our league that has CeeDee Lamb that I've been wanting to trade, but I just can't pull the trigger on him at that price. It just doesn't work out that way. Getting actives and inactives, just so you guys are aware, I'm kind of reading it as I answer your questions. So just hold tight. I see everybody in the chat. Yeah, man, I completely agree with you here. I think the guy, if you're not cool with CD and you're thinking the same way I am, I think Jennings is your best bet as the replacement, if you will. If you want to throw in Jennings over CD, I don't blame you, but just know that it's just hard for me to tell you guys to do that because talent wise, it's CeeDee Lamb. CD is the guy. If Dak was playing, it's him. Cooper Rush changes his whole aspect. Is he still an elite receiver? Of course he is. But does he help Rush as much as Rush helps him? No. He helps Rush, but it's if Rush can get him the ball. So that's the biggest issues at this point. So yeah, he goes, thanks. Nice hearing another thought process. Yeah. I mean, I've always talked about quality of target a lot in this, in this platform. I've done it from the beginning. I said it a lot with Marcus Mariota coming in, when he was on the Falcons, and everyone thinking he would be the guy to open up Kyle Pitts, if you will. And I'm like, it's the quality of target. You're not getting the same thing with him there. It's not the same. So it kind of brings him down a little bit in a tier. I think where do I have CD? I have CD at like 13, but that's rankings wise. Like I'm trying to, stay up with that, but I don't blame you if you wanted to play a guy like Jawan Jennings. I mean, I get it. Everyone sees that like 50-point game and everyone's like, oh my God, I can get that again, especially with guys like Ayuk and him out. So I don't blame you. Ricky Purcell is still there. He's still involved. They are getting him more involved. So it's not like he is by himself. You know what I mean? It's not like he was in that scenario where Debo was a little banged up. They didn't have Christian McCaffrey there. So that changes it a little bit for me for Jawan Jennings. I think, like I said, I think a lot of people think back to that really big game and, forget those little things. They had Jordan Mason running the ball, which is not involved in the pass game. Christian McCaffrey's there now. They're going to involve him a lot more now. He's going to get ramped up from 40% to probably 60%, if not more. And then on top of that, Debo is a little banged up. He's playing and he's fine, but he's banged up and they're going to use him in the backfield too. So yeah, Jennings is the next best option, but then they have Purcell. You got to just understand those little factors. CeeDee Lamb is the only guy in in Dallas. But the thing is, when you're the only guy, you're the focus. So a lot of coverage is going to go to him. A lot of things are going to move his particular way. And in turn, what happens is that Cooper is then kind of forced to push the ball to him. I mean, I love the Houston defense against the Dallas Cowboys this week. It's just, I tried getting them everywhere. But yeah, just be aware of those two things. It's very hard to tell you not to play CD, but Juwan is a good replacement if you think if you feel like you can get it. The hard part is you're never going to get the ceiling that you got. If you can get the floor of what CD is, then you're happy. But Brock is a different. Excuse me. Sorry. Brock is definitely a better quarterback. So I might lean that way too. So I don't blame you. Definitely don't blame you there. It's going to be a tough one, though. Definitely going to be a tough one. Wallful, what's going on, man? Great to have you here. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing if you haven't already. Always appreciate a like and subscribe. How are we feeling about Brian Thomas Jr. today? I mean, I don't love it. Mac Jones changes the whole equation. As bad as somebody like Trevor Lawrence is, he might be he's better than a lot of other quarterbacks that I would have over a guy like Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a good backup, but the problem with him is he's not anywhere close to what Trevor Lawrence is in any way, shape, or form. You're not going to get the same production. You're not going to get the quality of target that you're looking for. So it bumps him down from what he was. He was a wide receiver one. He was a high-end wide receiver two with one, high receiver one upside. Now he's more of a high-end three with he's a high-end three with low wide receiver two. And I just don't feel it. I think they're going to go a little bit more towards Evan Ingram. I'm hoping they do. I think it's a little bit of a tougher matchup for everybody. Lions are really good against the pass overall. Brian Branch is very good at covering, and he will be all over Evan Ingram. Their outside corners are a little banged up with Dean or Carlton Davis. But at the end of the day, they're going to involve whoever they can. Gabe Davis is serviceable, but overall, I think they're going to just try to, run the ball, keep that offense off the field and slow this game down a little bit. But based on the line, it's 47.5 points. Lions are favored by 14. They're favored by 2 touchdowns in this one. They're going to have to throw the ball. I don't hate it, but I have him currently ranked at like 35. He's a low-end wide receiver 3 moving forward. So that's how I feel about that. Ravens Show-Yo, what's going on, brother? He goes Dalton Schultz or Dawson Knox. Full PPR. I like Dawson just a little bit more. Just a smidge, though. Dalton with Nico Collins coming back. I mean, Nico kind of helps and hurts him at the same time. But it's really one of those, he kind of just levels out for me. Dawson is going to be the only tight end for them. And, as much as that's a good thing, they're going against a really tough matchup against the Chiefs. If Vegas has anything to say about it, they're 46 point over under. It's the 3rd highest, I think. 4th highest. Yeah, 4th highest over under for this week. So I understand wanting to go that particular route. Chiefs are currently dead last against the tight end, and that's part of it. So I think I'm okay with running Dawson Knox in this situation over Dalton Schultz, but they're pretty close to me. They're pretty close to one another. Smitty, don't worry. I'm going to answer your question. I just want to double check all my actives and inactives to see if there's any crazy changes from what we already know. Devontae Adams is active, so that's good to know. Ravens don't have anybody outside the normal. Sam Laporta, we already know, is inactive today. Michael Meyer is active today for the first time since week 3 for the Raiders. So they might be seeing a little bit more of 2 tight end sets there. Nothing crazy for the Colts. Nothing crazy for the Browns other than Deontay Foreman. He will be out today. He is inactive. So that means they have a little bit more faith in Chubb. Jair Alexander is active for the Pack. So that kind of brings DJ Moore a little bit down for me. But not a lot, just a smidge. Nothing about the Bears. Titans don't have anybody of note. Saints, Jamal Williams we already knew about. Mason Tipton is out for the Saints, so that's huge. Tipton was their number 2 at this point. So MVS is there. So that could be a interesting situation. Taysom Hill, fire him up. He'll be very involved today. We already know about Tank Bigsby and Trevor Lawrence. They're going to both be out today. And Vikings don't have anybody yet either. So, yeah, everybody that's in is in. Everybody that's out is out. There's no real crazy changes that I see. So we're good to go. So the Schmitty, I'm 4-6. Need to win out for the playoffs. 2 QB league, super flex. Mayer Stafford, start 2. Ramondre, Chase, Brown, Monty. Okay. So it's going to be Stafford over May for sure. I can't play Drake May. I understand his rushing floor kind of meets Stafford, but they're kind of the same player to me. Just, in that case, Stafford will throw the ball a ton. They are weak at, linemen right now, but Stafford's good at getting the ball out quick. Better matchup. I like Stafford here. If I'm going from the running backs in this group, Monty is definitely number 1 out of this. Chase Brown. If you had to have me pick between Chase Brown and Ramondre, Rams are 13th best going against the Chargers, who are 2nd best. Which means it doesn't mean that in this case, they would involve him in the passing game more than they would running him up the gut. Gives Khalil Herbert gets another week in this particular offense. The over-under is 48 in this particular matchup. Comparatively to the Rams and Patriots that are like 43. So I definitely want more points involved in that game. So I think it's going to be Chase Brown and Monty. If it's a half PPR, I would maybe move to Ramondre over Chase. Full PPR, I'm definitely running with Chase Brown for sure. What's going on, Cody? Great to have you here. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys check out Sweet Life Football with Cody and Zach. Every Saturday, they're going to be out here giving you guys a show. So make sure you guys check out our show their show during the week. All right. Smokey the Cat. Do we feel Deontay is something today? His props are insane. All right. I'm going to make this very clear. I'm a huge Deontay truther. I am one of those people. If you haven't watched the show before, you know how much, if you've watched the show before, I'm very into Deontay Johnson. I was very mad when he went to the Ravens. And it's because it's a place where, wide receivers go to die. Any free agent guy that's come in hasn't done well. My understanding is, even though the reason why the props are so high is because this is a revenge game. They want to run that revenge game narrative. I don't hate it, and I understand it. I just, until I see something, I can't go with it. Steelers are a better defense overall this week. I think they're going to do their best to just, it's going to be a back and forth type game 40, it's a 48 over under. This is the highest on the slate, or second highest on the slate over the 49ers and Seahawks. I just don't I don't see a world where Deontay is involved that much. They don't pass the ball a ton, and they don't like when Lamar passes more than 25 times a game, and that he has to get to a point where if he passes for 25, how many are getting caught, and his completion percentage is higher, and it's because they're limiting what he does throwing the ball because they're running it. So I think at this point, I don't feel good about it. I think I'm going to stay away from Deontay until I see more. Michael Lopez, what's going on, brother? Great to have you here again. He goes, morning, brother. Need one 12-team full PPR. London, McConkey, Adams. Thank you in advance. Already starting Chase and Puka. Wow. If you only need one here, I don't hate Javonte Adams. I know he's been dealing with illness. He's going against the Colts. Colts are currently 21st against the pass. They have a decent pass rush. They are the Jets don't have Tyron Smith. He's a Hall of Fame left tackle. Let's make that very clear. So him being out is kind of a situation. I can't play London today unless you're absolutely in a spot where you have no choice. Like I have a league where I have 3 wide receiver spots. I'm playing Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, and Drake London. And it's because the only guys that I have left are DeAndre Hopkins and Josh Downs. And I think both of those are worse than London. I'd rather have the best option than the unknown. The Bills' defense is not great against the wide receiver. But they're not horrible. 10th best. Right now, I rather have Adams in this matchup because they have a better matchup. So I'm going to go with Adams for sure. So yeah, let's go Adams. So Funky goes, another thing that scares me about CD is he is a Monday night football injury report. Get screwed if he gets benched. He's not going to get benched. Just Funky, don't be scared about that. He's all I believe he's off the injury report if memory serves me. That shoulder, it was a thing of the past. Squeaky wheel too. They're definitely, he's definitely, a little pissed off. I think with Cooper Rush being hurt, I think that it hurts him a little bit more than him being hurt, if that makes sense. Anytime the guy giving you the ball is hurt, it kind of makes me a little bit more it's literally one hit that can knock you out. And then you're going to the third, you're going to Trey Lance, which I don't know if you want. So just know that part of it. Neanderthal, what's up, brother? Kittle isn't officially out. He is unlikely to play, as Funky is telling you here. So I'm not playing him. I have him in one of my bigger leagues, and he was my starting tight end. I'm already switching him out for Hunter Henry. There's no point in trying to wait and see. I mean, the other guy that, another guy you could pick up is a guy like Will Dissly. He plays at 8:30 or, Sunday Night Football, if you will. I know West Coast, it's different times, and yeah, sorry. But yeah, I would probably lean if you want to wait, then you get a guy like Dissly. If you know in your heart of hearts he's not playing based on the report like I do, I'm going with Hunter Henry or like a guy like that, earlier matchup. So what's up, Joe? Great to have you here. No, didn't miss much. Just answering questions. Cody's going, I'm also a big Deontay guy. Joe goes, Ridley or Shakir this week? Great question. I think I'm going to go Ridley. Matchup's better. He's been getting targeted over and over again. They've been ramping up that offense, and it looks like he's doing a lot better. Shakir is going to have a tougher matchup. They are going to be throwing the ball all over the place. but the Vikings over under is a little bit tough for me, but it's all in favor of the Vikings. So I'm gonna, or not Vikings. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of another scenario. Or no, yeah, that is that game. My bad. For those that are just joining, had a long night. Watched UFC 309 and didn't get home till 3. So, yeah, I'm gonna definitely go Ridley here, Joe. Easy. Will Hayes going Dawson Knox or Disley. The matchup's better for Knox for sure. Both are in good matchup scenarios though. It's basically the 30th and 32nd worst against the tight end, but a lot of teams don't tend to use their tight end versus these teams. The last few weeks, and a lot of them haven't been, crazy good. I think Knox is a better ceiling play, and Disley is a floor play. If it's full PPR, I'm going to lean Disley. I have to double check to see about Hayden Hurst though, because if Hayden Hurst is out, I am definitely going with Will Disley without thinking twice. But if he's not, let me just take a quick look to see if I can find any information on Hayden real quick. Okay, so Hayden Hurst was back. So it looks like he'll be involved. But even with Hayden Hurst there, they haven't really involved him too much. He didn't practice. That was on Wednesday, it looks like. Wednesday. Yeah, but it looks like he got limited practice in all week. Let me just double check here. So Hayden Hurst. Oh, it was personal. He was full. Yeah. So I might lean Knox a little bit. He just has more upside. Yeah. So Funky goes, he was placed yesterday for the back injury. Yeah. Oh, you mean for CD? I'm telling you, not worth thinking about. I understand that he was put on it, and I understand that kind of throws people off. He's gonna play. I mean, I don't understand. And I wouldn't think that they don't play him. They're not that type of team to kind of go, if he's not 100%, they're not going to throw him out there. Let me see. No, he's not on the injury report. I'm looking at their injury report right now. I don't even see him on the injury report. So he might have popped up and then he's off. Like, they have to report everything. Him having a back injury is it's somewhat significant, but I don't think it's enough to pull him out of your lineup if you're looking to go his way. Yeah, he's not even on the at least the injury report, the official team injury report. He's not on it unless that's changed. But I'll keep looking while we're here. But I want to answer some more questions here. Joe goes, I'm leaning Shakir with Kincaid out and Cooper in a cast. Also, does this make Cook a better option than Hall? I'm starting Monty. No. I think Hall has the tougher. I think Cook has the tougher matchup. Chiefs are number 1 against the run. Chris Jones. Chris Jones is the real deal, man. He can shut down a defense. Hall going against the Colts, they're 17th best. A little bit more room. DeForest Buckner is a force in the middle, but honestly, they do well at getting the ball to the outside and involving him more in the passing game. I love Cook. I'm a big fan of Cook as a player, but in this matchup, it's tough. I just acquired Cook in a trade, and I'm not playing him. I have Derrick Henry, Gibbs, and Jonathan Taylor, and then I have to figure out if I'm playing Sutton or James Cook, and I like Sutton's matchup a little bit better. So, yeah, got to just be aware of that. Yeah, that's what I mean. McCarthy, if McCarthy is usually pretty truthful about what he talks about. He's not like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones will be like, "Oh, he's fine," and then all of a sudden he's out. McCarthy is pretty good. If he says he's not worried, then yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Cook hasn't been involved much in the passing game lately. Maybe that changes. I think it might have to in this game. They are favored by 2. They are at home. They usually play better at home, of course. That, if you ever been to Orchard Park, I've never been. I want to be. But yeah, I would just, I'm a little hesitant about Cook. I'm playing him in one league that I have no choice because all my other options are hurt today. But yeah, I would. KJ Osborne's out, inactive. Interesting. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one today. Cody goes, would you trade away Jacoby Myers in a second for a second round pick in half PPR? I was going to ask for reference. I'm 4-6, 1 spot out of the playoffs. Well, then why not fight? I don't understand trading away your whole team when you're only 1 game out. If it's redraft or like a keeper league, then I understand in a way. But if you're a game out and you have an opportunity to, well, if it's if it's dynasty, then I'm understanding why you're going for the second. But it's not a horrible return. That's the best answer I can give you. Is it a second for Jacoby is not a horrible return. I do like what you're getting out of that. But for me, yeah, I think I'm gonna. I would fight. I'm always a fighter. I think he has better games ahead of him. New offensive coordinator. The matchup that they have this week is a little bit. It's tough, and they have a long road ahead. In general, I mean, they have. Let's see who they have leading. They got Broncos, tough matchup. Chiefs, tough matchup. Buccaneers, great matchup. Falcons, okay matchup. Jaguars, great matchup. Saints, great matchup. So 3 out of 5, and you need 3 or so to get to the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad price for him, so I don't blame you. But yeah, I guess if you're trying to get younger, not a bad choice. Tyler, what's going on, man? He goes Dell or Downs. I'm gonna go Dell. I love, and I'm so high on Downs too. I love Downs. I think he's a great player. Unfortunately, Anthony Richardson kills his value. He's been involved a lot. He is more considered the wide receiver 1 in this particular team. Michael Pittman is healthy, so they have all their options available to him. He is the slot play for them for sure. But Dell, he'll be a lot more involved, a better quarterback overall, and a better offense overall. So I'm going to go with Dell here for sure. Hey. Okay. Cody, just take his advice with a little bit of a grain of salt here. He's a Raider hater, so it doesn't matter who the Raider is. He just hates them. But I don't hate it, honestly. It's a good price point for him for a second. So I don't blame you. I like fighting. I like trying to get in if I can. But yeah. Now we have some animosity in the chat. So yeah, make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat if you have any. Definitely going to be leading you up till game time. I usually stay on until I hear crickets in the chat. I do have to make some changes to my lineup, so I might be wrapping up on a hard end at this point. But yeah. Yeah. Joe Ortiz and Anthony going at it. I like it. All right. What do we got going on? Oh, we got some moves in our Dynasty League, I see. More going on. What's going on? All right. So there's no new news. All the actives and inactives are pretty much done. Everyone's good to go. So everybody has I love my Dynasty League. Worm, if you're watching, you're ridiculous. Chris, you suck. He just made a deal of a lifetime. Deal of a lifetime, man. Anyway, sorry, I can't be dealing with that now. I just it's funny when I'm hearing about it while I'm here. But yeah, this is oh, you got Mason out of the deal, you damn prick. I knew he was trying to do that. Anyway. All right, boys and girls. Make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat. Make sure also you guys are checking out our other affiliate podcasts as well. Make sure you guys check out the Fantasy Football Tavern with Kendall. He is there. He will be putting out videos for you guys, as well as the Extra Point with Phil Ruskin. He's there every Wednesday and Thursday and on Friday as well. Always pushing out content. So make sure you guys check him out. They're going to be both always available and on these shows as well as the Tycoon himself on Tuesdays. So make sure you guys check out their shows moving forward, as well as, like I said before, Sweet Life Football with Cody as well every Saturday with Cody and Zach. Great show. Love what they're doing. Really appreciate them, making it where we're 7 days a week. If you're new to the show, make sure you guys are checking out our weekly lineup. I'll put it here for a few seconds for you guys to pause and, take a look at if you're watching this later on in the week. Also, make sure you guys use, let me change this up. Underdog. Well, this says Underdog Fantasy. My read says Underdog. Make sure you guys check out Underdog. If you haven't already, make sure you download the app. When you register, make sure you guys are using the promo code GETRIGHT. No waivers, no trades, no lineup setting. Great for best ball. We use it all year round. They're in 33 states so far. Make sure you guys check it out. They will give you 50% of your deposit match, or they'll give you a 50% deposit match. You put down 10, they'll give you 5. So make sure you guys are doing that. If you do that now, there's a free pick available for pick'ems. Pick'ems are great. You can you're picking higher or lower based on the particular projection of that player's stat, either, receptions, total yards, touchdowns, things like that. They're giving you a 0.5 total yards. So good for you. Make sure you guys do that. It's great. Make sure you use promo code GETRIGHT when you do. Oh, so I'm trying to look at the deal. I've been trying. It's this is our salary cap dynasty league. Wait, you missed me last night? I thought I was here. Oh, you missed me last week. I was going to say I didn't see you here on Sunday. You're right. This is a good one. Bo Nix or Mahomes? I have Bo Nix ranked higher. Believe it or not. Yeah, I have Bo Nix at 10. I have Mahomes at 13. I'm going to go Bo Nix here. Going to go Bo Nix. Love the rushing floor. Love it. So, Ross, to give you an idea of what the trade is, it was Nick Chubb, who I just traded. Him Nick Chubb, and so he traded away Nick Chubb, who's in our league $35. He traded away Devontae Adams, who is $23, and Josh Oliver, and because he needs a tight end, because the one thing that this guy doesn't have is a tight end this week, and he needs a tight end. A 5th round pick in that as well. And he gets in return, he trades away Nick Chubb, Adams, Oliver, and a 5th rounder. And he gets in return Justice Hill, Mason, Hunter, and a 1st round next year. God, I hate him so much. He's making great trades though. That's a great trade. Great trade. So Neanderthal goes, I need to replace Kittle in a guillotine league. There are quite a few available. Hill, Disley, Jonnu, Henry, Muth, and a few others. Would Henry or Disley still be your choice? No, it would probably be Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill has a wonderful matchup this week, just because of the not many people there. If I had to rank it, it would be Hill, Henry, Muth, Disley. No, Hill, Henry, Muth, Disley. Yeah, and then Jonnu. So that's what I want. Let's see what else we got. Stroud or Love? I love Stroud this week. I have Stroud ranked higher going against Dallas. It's a tougher matchup now that they have everybody back. Chicago's still good. They're coming off the bye. Or no, they're not coming off the bye. My bad. I'm still going Stroud. Definitely Knicks from before. CeeDee Lamb or Dottle. Ew. It's hard for me to tell you to go Dottle over CeeDee. But yeah, I think I'm going to go CeeDee there. And then Jonnu or Kraft. I don't hate Jonnu Smith for full. I have Jonnu at 18. I have Kraft at 12. So I would tell you Kraft here. Brisker being out definitely helps you here. So I like Kraft. I'm going to go Kraft. Ooh, so much going on. So much going on this week. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm starting Daniels, or I'm starting Stroud. Stroud, I'm telling you, man, with Collins in the lineup, he has excelled. He's just been killing it. Yeah, you can't not play Stroud. And they're home, to be honest about it. Their home split, if you look at the home split, wait. Right? Oh, no, they're away. Never mind. I was going to say their home splits are crazy. And it's a dome split too. I'm still going to lean Stroud regardless. But it's at Dallas. Yeah, I'm still running that either way. Nico Collins back in the lineup helps him. Better matchup against Trayvon Diggs. With having Micah Parsons back, it's still a little bit of a difficult situation. I think he's like the 3rd most sacked in the league so far this year, or something like that, or I forgot the numbers. But this is going to be a fun matchup to watch. I'm excited for Monday Night Football. Rare. It's rare, but I love being able to watch the Texans, on Monday night. It should be a fun matchup. All right, boys and girls, throw those questions in the chat. If you don't have anything else, I'm going to be starting to wrap this up a little bit. Got to get ready. Got to get my team set. I got all these different things happening in these leagues, and I want to get involved. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, check out TrophySmack.com. I mean, it's that time of year again. We're getting to the very end of the season soon, unfortunately. I mean, this season just flew by. It's absolutely crazy every time I look. We are more than halfway through the season. We're almost at playoffs. So if your league hasn't gotten a trophy yet, you should. And Trophy Smack is where you should go. You can get everything from there. This is one of their best options is their belt. Love the belt. Rasta has this one. Loves it. We have customizable trophies. Kendall has this one. Loves what he's got here. They have customizable chains. You can look like Kirk Cousins if you want. Or you can customize a ring. As Rasta has shown, he's won his. So make sure you guys check out trophysmack.com. Use promo code GetRight, and they will help you at checkout. Hey, man, that's what I'm here for. Joe's saying, thanks, Big Mike. You're the best, bro. That's what I'm here for, brother. Yeah, my nephews call me Big Mike. So it's great to hear. I'm not going to do any DFS today. Just not worth it. I'd rather answer all your other questions, with this week. Next week, we got our bye NATO. A lot of teams on a bye next week. I think 6 overall. So just be prepared. Plan for that. Lots of good teams off on a bye next week. This week we have the Giants, the Bucks. Who else do we have? I have a list somewhere. Giants, Bucks. Hold on. Too many things open right now. I have like 7 different windows open. Bucks, Cardinals, Panthers, and the Giants. So make sure you guys know that in advance. Make sure you get them out of your lineup. Make sure you guys are preparing for next week and the weeks prior. No bye week in week 13. Make sure you guys are hitting that like and subscribing as well. Really appreciate everybody in the chat. So thank you all for joining. Ray, always a pleasure to have you here. Neanderthal, Joe, always a pleasure. Everybody else in the chat as well. Tyler, Cody, Funky, Kyle Singer, Will Hayes, Michael Lopez, everybody, Smokey the Cat, Raven Show, Michael Lopez, all you guys. Appreciate it. Danzel Barton, Wolfel. Really appreciate everybody, sticking in and watching. I will see you guys next Friday, but make sure you guys stay tuned for our show on Monday. We're going to be going over waiver wire ads for week 12, as well as overreacting, as you will, to this week. And then make sure you guys check out our whole schedule. Like I said, we're here every day, Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday, if you will. So make sure you guys check us out every day of the week. So I appreciate everybody. I hope everyone has a wonderful week 11. Good luck to everybody, unless you're facing me. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking often, but